And are we live? Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of On the Field with Jarad and Jon. Thank you to a major sponsor, as you saw on the screen, American Southwest Credit Union, doing a great job of supporting all of our wonderful coverage that we bring to you with Cool FM, sports, and everything else. Jon, good to have you on the show again.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Coach Young?
Good. Hey, just getting ready for fourth quarter to start. Been on spring break this week, so, just ready to finish up the year strong, and we'll see how the track and baseball and softball season goes for Lehman.
And then we get a special guest.
And without further ado, welcome everybody to the show. Logan Sealey,
state
back
champion.
on the show. Been here a few times, and also we'll call him freshman phenom
we
reporter.
Gotta see this. Can I check?
We do have something real quick we want to show you.
Logan here.
So these guys 2 years ago reached an incredible article or chance at victory, and were successful in winning the state title. And
big old ring.
And they beat, who did you beat that year?
Western School of Science and Technology.
Western School of Science and Technology. And this was a CAA team, right?
Yes, sir.
And so you guys went up there with all the confidence in the world and dominated as you always do. And, why don't you revisit some of those moments, Logan?
I think kind of going into
Won their state championship and all those playoffs leading up to it. And then I got to see this last year where you guys were awesome. And hey, man, that's the way the cookies crumble. But
you went into a bigger division.
Quite a bit. And all of a sudden you get this beautiful ring. Yeah, have you punched anybody with it yet?
No.
Have you left an imprint on any of your brothers? Or that's always the way it was for us. If you got something, you knock someone with it. Anyway.
So revisit some times within that game. That you remember.
Man,
championship game.
That game was crazy. I think the environment, obviously.
It was a daytime game.
And honestly, we didn't even know if we were going to be able to play that day. We thought our game was going to have to get moved to Monday. The field was all rainy.
Oh, it's raining and poured the night before. Yeah,
it was a really nice field.
Weather.
And we got there and it was raining, and so we had to wait for the field to drain out. And so we were warming up in the rain, really without kind of knowing if we were going to be able to play. But we were all fired up. Them canceling that game was just going to give us more time. Mm-hmm. So I think we would have put a better beat down. But
love it.
I think we were all hyped going into that game. We kind of knew what we were going to go do.
You guys already played them in the regular season too.
Yep,
we beat them.
We beat them in the regular season, and then obviously, we had talked about it all year going into that season. We had the roster for it. We had the what's the word for it? We all felt like a team. We all felt like a team, and we were all pretty unified, right? And that was, I think, the biggest thing. And so we had no less than winning a state championship as our expectations for that year.
And you came out victorious. What was the final score of that game?
26-14.
Yeah, so you had a 2-touchdown lead in that game and kept it in the second half. I remember. I don't think they scored in the second half, did they?
I don't think so.
No, you didn't let them score.
But as far as what the great thing that Logan does is he leads the nation in kick returns. That's a big deal. What was your average?
I think last time I looked, it was like 47 and a half.
Yeah. Imagine
how many people
47 yards on a
stat?
Kick return. No, hey, man.
I'm like, why are you not jumping on this guy just to be your kick returner? Be a special teams guy.
The cool thing is like all these
Coach Brandon, you should be watching our show from U of A at your desk right now. Just saying.
The thing is you can go to some of these smaller schools and then move up and not lose any of any eligibility.
Well, they have the new JUCO rule.
I love it. We're talking minor league football, dog.
2 years of free football.
Oh, I wish. Shoot, I would have played community.
So you go to junior college and go play. Doesn't count against your time playing.
Dude,
you can still get 4 more years.
Imagine going
to
U of A as a 20-year-old all jacked up because you've been lifting for the last 2 years. So
you get more prepared to play BYU. Because all those guys are grown and families and kids on the sideline running around. It's like,
yeah, they got grandkids. Some of those guys. You remember the running back Antoine Smith? He went to the Broncos. He was from
Yes.
BYU.
Yes.
He was a monster. He was a Marine, and he was a BYU grad. So when he started the NFL, he was 27 years
Yeah.
old, and he was mauling dudes. It was like, oh, this rookie, don't worry about him. And he killed people at BYU, and they bring him in the NFL. They're like, he's too old, and he goes in and just starts smoking linebackers. And and he ended up playing fullback for 2 years, and that whole offensive line for Denver. I mean, those running backs, Olandis Gary. It was right after
Mark
Terrell
Schlereth.
Davis.
Oh,
Yeah, well, Mark Schlereth, he was a
was
monster. He was an offensive lineman there, yeah. So, what was his name? Booger or Stink or something like that? His name is Stink.
yeah.
Stink Schlereth.
Mhm.
Anyway,
So back to our wonderful guest of the day, Logan. I want to ask you what steps have you been taking since we talked to you last? We spoke to you at Hampton a few months ago, and what is the next process that you've been going through for getting ready for Ottawa? We already know you're committed there, and we love that we were able to do your signing show and all that.
dude, that was so much fun.
So just want to see what your steps you've been taking to get prepared for getting up there.
Really
share the breaking news that you just shared with us.
Oh
maybe.
yeah.
See how you're going to prepare for that too.
So our head coach left last Monday. He got a way better job, offensive coordinator at a Division I school.
Where's he going?
Houston Christian.
Okay.
So he's got a great job lined up. So right now we're looking for our head coach. We put in our defensive line coach as our interim head coach for right now.
Now, have you been doing any workouts with them up there? Have you been or have you been allowed, or what's the?
So our spring ball just started this last week. So I'm going to be up there Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Probably I'm going to head up there on Saturday.
Just as a guest.
Go get lunch with the coaches, hang out, be around the team. And those are going to be my guys for the next 4 years. So
yeah.
I'm excited. But really, I think the biggest part of the process so far right now is keeping my grades up, right? So I can graduate, walk the stage. But really just kind of putting my head down and going to work,
You got
getting
no
ready.
problem with that GPA. You got a solid GPA. We already knew that. So is that going to help with getting some of the get some academic scholarships maybe, and get some extra money towards that year? Because it's Ottawa, I hear, is a little more expensive than normal schools, but I know you're going to get some coverage.
Yeah, they raise tuition too.
Oh, boy, isn't that fun? Gotta love them. The wonderful university. The universities and what they do to these kids, unfortunately. So what are your I don't know if we asked you this before, but what are you gonna be looking to major in?
Sports medicine.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Athletic trainer in the making. I
Yes,
like
sir.
it. So who do you want to get to the high school level? Do you want to work at college or pro level?
Coming out of college, obviously, I'm probably going to have internships lined up with college or pro teams, college teams, everything kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I ultimately want to be a high school trainer. Just I feel like that's the most raw you'll see the game is those. They're fighting to go to college. They're fighting for their future. And that's just my favorite part of football to be around.
I do know this from being in the coaching field for the last 19 years, 20 years. I would definitely say if you can shadow or do some interning, do it with NAU. They've got some of the best sports medicine program within the last 10 to 15 years and even 20 years. They've got lots of good things that they can show you, and I've just seen so many people come out of there and do great things with their trainers. So keep that in mind if you want to do that. But that's a great field to be getting into.
It's a great stepping stone too. You're getting all of that medical background. So if you ever want to go on and do something else, let's say, then you've got a lot of that that background. I'm a huge fan of all the people in the medical field. So God bless you, and I hope we're looking forward to seeing you. Do you think that you'll end up here in Sierra Vista? Or are you going to go off and live in California, the big life, some beautiful high school on Coronado Island or something?
I've thought about it a little bit. Obviously, I want to be a coach too, right? So a coach with an athletic training degree, right? I mean, that's crazy, right? So I haven't fully thought about it. Obviously, being back here, it's my hometown. I grew up here. It'd be great, being able to take over the reins from Hampton. If he's watching,
I was about
start
to say,
paying attention.
I'm sure he might turn it over to you after you get done.
But yeah, I obviously would love to be back here, but just kind of where my faith calls me.
Absolutely, man. We know you're blessed, and we're so looking forward to seeing all of the success in the next 4 years and seeing some incredible results and some stats coming out of that school with you. And that's the Phoenix, right?
Yes, sir.
Rising Phoenix or whatever they're.
Spirit.
That's what
Oh,
it was.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
dude.
Yes, sir.
It's a great,
field
it's
is
a
so
great,
nice.
yeah, it's a
Yes,
great
sir.
field.
And
Great.
that's the one without the track.
Yeah.
That goes around it, man.
Yeah, it's
and
nice.
the stadium is like right up on the field. So the coolest part is that you've got this building, and then you got stadium right in front of it, and all of the windows in this building all look down on the field. I mean, and it's like, oh gosh, it was like an athletic department has a window out there, and the athletic director. I mean, and it's like 10 stories tall, so everybody's got a window. But you guys have I'm really pumped that I'm definitely going to come to one of your games.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna have to cover some Ottawa games for sure. Try and get up there and
get some of those Logan Sealey games. We can't live
Yes,
without
sir.
Logan. We need to come back.
he's gonna be starting kick returner anyway, so should be in our books. Well, any last words, Logan, that you'd like to share with anybody that's your underclassmen at Berean or anybody else out there in the football, getting into football and any kind of words of commitment.
Help Berean recruit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly where I was going next. Listen, so
here's your plug, Chance.
we start spring practice on Monday, right? I'm not sure what time. You guys could find me on Facebook, message me on Facebook, Instagram, anything like that, and you guys can message me. We need some dogs. We're looking for another state title, right? Come into a winning program, and we're here. We'll welcome you with open arms.
Monday at Hampton?
It's going to be at the school.
On school, okay.
Yes, sir.
What time would that be?
I believe 5.
Okay.
I believe
5 p.m. You have any thoughts of attending Berean next year or coming out there and play some ball? If you're currently in the hallways there and you're thinking about it and you were like right on the cusp, Logan can be that one to really seal the
I
deal
saw
for
some
you.
of those basketball players, and they need to put on some shoulder pads. Is what I saw.
Yup.
Yeah, so
Yep.
those guys
Kids
need to
could
be
use
playing.
another 10 pounds and start playing tight end or linebacker or something. That'd be great.
All right, man. Well, let's move on real quick.
Yes.
Let's talk about March Madness.
Oh,
6:40 p.m. to be exact. We have unfortunate. I'm sure you're going to be rooting for the green team, John. So
Oregon.
I'm not
I'm
going.
a Washington.
I know
guy.
you are, but you're right there by them. But anyway,
Ugh.
I hope we're not
God
going to
bless.
see.
No. I live in Arizona, dog.
Okay,
that's
so
my second favorite team.
We're going
now.
for the Wildcats tonight.
Yes, sir.
What
Yes.
about you, Logan?
U of A all the way, bear down.
Here we go. I like it.
Yeah, I heard a guy yell in church, "Bear down!" I'm like, dude,
That's good stuff. It's like, hey, but a solid performance coming out in the first round against Akron. They had one of the highest percentages of shots made throughout the NCAA tournament so far. They were not missing shots.
Some of the best highlights too,
Mhm.
dude. That rebound dunk where that
You were-
guy
yeah, the one
nearly.
you texted
Yeah,
me.
I texted him. I'm like,
Did
that
you
guy
see
just
that?
flew. Like, I mean, we joke about like people flying in basketball, but this guy like went up. It was like he was standing on the rim and he just came down to dunk the ball. That's what it looked. I was like, where'd that guy come from?
So they got a tough opponent in there in the Oregon Ducks. The Oregon's done a pretty good job with the Big Ten, transferring to Big Ten this year, and
The only team you got to worry about is that Duke team, man.
they're in that same side of where we're at right now.
That's
so
brutal. Like I told
we
you,
might be facing them.
Yeah, in the next
get
game.
past tonight.
They
so.
should have been ranked number 2 in that. If they were going to be put there, they shouldn't have been. They should have been number 2 instead of Alabama.
I'll just put this out there. Last year we played Duke and beat them, so they are beatable.
They are.
But they didn't have
beatable.
flag. They didn't have flag.
flag. Dude, he's a monster.
Yeah, so.
But I'm rooting for. It's going to be a fun game. I didn't go to either school, so I'm just like flipping a coin either way. But I love
the staff that Tommy Lloyd's put together, and
I grew up.
The program at U of A is just solid right now.
I grew up loving Duke, so like it goes back before U of A was good. But I loved U of A when they were good in the '90s too. Man, you remember Richard Jefferson?
Ooh yeah,
Whoa.
top 10.
Yeah, and then they had that center with no eyebrows. Oh gosh, that guy. Anyway, I probably should. He's a weird looking.
him.
He looked like what's the candy? It's like a malt. Anyway, it's like a squishy thing. Anyway, what else do we want to talk about?
Squirrel.
Squirrels.
Just kidding.
Gonzaga lost to Houston. They're going to be playing Purdue. Kentucky's playing tonight.
Okay. How'd the Lopes do? First round. Did they get through their first round?
I don't think
They lost.
No, yeah, they lost.
Both teams, girls and boys.
I think so.
So Grand Canyon. Man, that team.
The girls team. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
they had the longest winning streak.
And did you see that their head
NCAA.
coach went on to Arizona State already?
Oh,
They lost the game, and like 15 minutes later, she had a job. Already signed that contract. But good
That's
for
the way
her.
it goes.
Well,
That's the way it goes
she's in Arizona.
college.
She steps up one school. You know, Grand Canyon isn't a big school, and that they made it to the tournament the way they did is unreal.
They've improved a lot at that school. Yeah. They've got the incredible. I think they've got a lot of potential to keep things rolling in that program in the WAC conference.
Dude.
Not WAC as in
the WAC
Western Athletic Conference with WAC is a solid conference once again, and Grand Canyon's been a help of that.
Yeah.
That program. So we had some golfing that happened recently, John. We want to talk a little bit about some skins game here at Cool FM.
If you want some money, you saw that American Southwest Credit Union. Big thanks to them and Ed Morse. So so two people won big money, $130 a piece. That's only a portion of the money that should have been won. That money gets carried over $270 to the next game. So $270 on the line if you want to join the next tournament, like I was saying. And then this one. This
is going to be April 26th, by the way.
April 26th. Yes, thank you.
So you want to get out there and get into the skins game. This is definitely a time for you.
Keith Landry. He told us he was joining like maybe 2 days before, and he goes out and he wins $130. Mr. Smith, I cannot remember his name, Michael Smith, I want to say his name was. He got the other $130, so $270 left, and then still $500 for the hole in one. So if you want to win some money and play some golf in the next month, we would love to have you come out, check it out, swing the sticks. And the whole thing about, I'm learning this. So when it comes to skins games, it's a big risk game. So you're just like smashing the ball. And if it goes wild, you just pick it up and go on to the next hole. So it's built for Happy Gilmore types. Seriously. So the bigger and stronger you are, like if you can smash that ball and take a big old divot with you, whatever it takes, get that ball on the green. Also, and I think both those guys that won, it was closest to the pin wins. So that wasn't even a skin. So those skin games, like if we don't have a winner this next game, it could be a $500, $700 pot. Yep. Like it just keeps climbing. So we're going to get you out there.
The weather's getting good, folks. So
Logan's strong enough. He could bash that thing about 400.
I'm going to make sure I go to the last one, make sure I win the most money.
There you
go. See? Well, man,
he's got to go to college. He's got to have something.
You could definitely pay for it with what we're doing. Okay, college.
So so the next one, like we said, was April 26th for the skins game. I wanted to put a real quick plug in for Pima Community College. Both teams, girls and boys, have advanced to the semifinals in their Division II NJCAA tournament.
Wow.
The Pima boys currently are undefeated.
Now, is that out of Tucson?
Oh,
wow.
They have not lost a game all season. And one wonderful point guard that is playing for them and is doing a wonderful job. His name is Cooper Jones. Chief Jones from the Service Fire Department is his son.
Oh,
and
cool.
He is Final Four player that went all the way to the Final Four in his state championship run.
Wow.
We lost at home. It was against Centennial, and they ended up winning the state title that year. I was announcing through all those games. It was just so much fun.
Oh, man.
And seeing Cooper, Cooper's could hit anywhere around the gym behind the arc. He was an incredible three-point shooter, and he's done a good job with that with his team.
Was he a Buena player?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he played with when Tyler was the coach there before Dennis Baker.
What is his name? Tyler something. I know that name. Oh, my gosh.
Just slipped my mind. Sorry,
I know.
Ty, for watching.
Yeah. No, we've seen him before. We met him.
But yeah, he's done a phenomenal job, and he's hit the weight room right. Because I told him, I said, you better get in the weight room when you're going to be playing these teams, and Cochise, you're going to be playing other solid schools around Arizona. You got to get some weight on you. And he paid attention to enough people that told him that, so he's put on about 20 pounds of muscle.
As a basketball player,
He's pretty
dude,
good.
that's not like football weight.
And he's kept his
Basketball
speed.
weight is like
He's kept his speed too,
because
so.
you have to be agile and you have to have your hops. Like when some dudes gain weight in basketball, they can't move very well. It's like Zach Randolph when he was a small dude versus when he was a big dude.
Yeah.
Like there's great things about being a bigger dude. You get that you can move a person down in the post, and then you only have to finger roll it. But when you're more agile, you can go around them. So you kind of, you have to kind of pick your poison. Do you want to be a big, powerful body in basketball, or do you want to be an agile, go-getter? So, yeah.
Well,
Also,
what else you got going?
Oh, dude, baseball. Buena baseball. Dude.
They're on a hot streak right now. 14-8.
That
Beat
team,
Sunnyside on Friday.
they only lost by 2 runs to the number 2 team in state,
Catalina
Foothills, and they lost by 1 to the number 5 team in state. So they are
Tommy's got these boys rolling,
dude.
man.
I'm telling you,
They're
he's a
rocking
good
and
coach.
rolling.
And it's his first year as head coach, but he's been there for years. His son used to play there, so for him,
Shout out to Coach Fernandez.
Yep, Coach
Doing
Fernandez.
a great job.
And then softball, the softball girls. I haven't talked to their coach yet, but I'd like to get an interview with one of them this week.
We'll get Coach Blackshear and see how things are going with those ladies, and we'll get them on the show maybe next weekend. Or
what else is going on? Track seasons here. Are you doing track?
No.
Are you training with the track people?
No. So I'm doing a lot of speed workouts completely on my own. I coach.
Okay.
So
cool.
so I just kind of, it's all on me.
You're
all
also
my
a
workouts are
mentor.
on
coach
me.
in baseball.
Right. I coach the flag football team with NFL flag with Gridiron. So
Gotcha.
Sweet. Dude, that's a lot
How's your
of
team
fun.
doing this year?
we're going. We're going.
You're making progress, right?
It's rough.
Dude,
we're
are they
going.
having
We're
fun?
going.
Are you
Yeah,
having-
yeah.
They're having
I
a
love
good
those
time when
kids.
they're
I
learning
love them to
something.
death.
That's all it's about. It's not always about W's and L's until it matters.
Right.
Later on in high school and stuff.
And you're coaching. You coached the young lady that was so good,
Destiny.
Destiny
Yeah.
Villalobos.
There you go.
I'm like,
Yeah.
There you go.
Where is that? Yeah. So Logan got to coach probably the best player in Cochise County, maybe even the state for
Girls
flag
flag
football. She is a menace, man.
28 touchdowns.
Something I don't even
28
know,
touchdowns.
some
Yeah, as a freshman.
Yeah, so I get all those Buena kids mixed up, but they got some great soccer players, got some great football players. The young ladies over there, they're
Hopefully
really
we can
tough.
get Paige Hoffman to get out there and play some flag football.
That'd be cool,
She'd be
man.
good.
We could use as many athletes as possible.
Yeah.
So, anything else? I'm trying to remember if there's anything I wanted to talk about.
No, I'm good.
Golf was good.
Yeah.
Logan's good. You got anything going on, Jared?
No, man. I'm just rolling. Like I said, we're getting all our sports started this week with softball, baseball, and track and field. And we'll have 3 meets. I'm going to have a meet at Buena, one in Douglas, one in Nogales, and then we'll have our baseball and softball games going on somewhere within our wonderful softball and baseball complexes here in town, and just continuing to build and get our programs going in the right direction. And spring football is going to be starting here soon for Buena as well, probably towards the end of April. Coach Thomas will have those guys flying around, and I'm sure he's still trying to figure out the quarterback situation. That's going to be an interesting adjustment because we have to figure out who, if it's going to be the guy from the JV team. Hopefully he can really step up and has been putting in the work and showing him that he's capable of being that starter.
You don't have to be much of a thrower.
You got to fill some big shoes, and there's more.
Well, you got to play mistake free when it comes to Buena. They only started throwing the ball when they were sure that Nash wasn't going to throw a pick. He's a very accurate passer, but he grew into that. He wasn't just gunning the ball his freshman and sophomore year, but his junior and senior year. Man, he was throwing the ball.
He he finally figured out the weight room the right way in between his junior and
also,
senior year.
It's a level of trust too.
You
So
can throw it a
coach
mile.
trusted him.
Well, true.
There's a bike race and a rodeo.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, we just had the El Tour de Zona finish up today. I believe, what was the number? 470 bikers were on the roads this weekend with El Tour de Zona.
Were they riding through our potholes?
No, I don't know about that. And hopefully they didn't have to worry about all that. But last year I can tell you, I'm sure they're much more appreciative of the weather. Oh. Last year they had to pretty much cancel Sunday because it was snowing. Saturday night. That was
such a great. And last year was so wild. If you were here last year, it snowed all.
Like locking up for the city in that evening, and I look over and I'm just watching tents roll across the field at Howard Field. I'm like, oh my gosh!
Also,
people are not going to want to be doing. Oh yeah, opening. Let's talk about
that.
Opening.
Was awesome. Yeah, those little kids were running around. Oh my god!
Opening ceremonies for softball and baseball.
Yeah, those little kids were having such a great time. We got some video on that.
Did they give you some like raw numbers of how many kids are?
There was 47 teams.
Beautiful.
Dude, I couldn't find a parking space. And we're talking that whole complex. Yeah. There's like 6 parking lots over there. There's a library. There were RVs all along. I mean,
you should have just made your own in the dirt somewhere. Parked on
Well, I did.
Right up against the fence.
I parked illegally. I parked very illegally.
It's okay. It's opening ceremony.
I was like, I got to be in and I got to be out. So we did that. So that was a lot of fun. All those kids were having a great time, big smiles. And, a lot of we had the high school kids, the Buena High School kids came out.
Softball and baseball.
Baseball. They were very supportive. Coach Tommy and the softball coach.
Coach Blackshear.
I'm going to have to remember that.
It's okay.
That's
why I'm here for you.
My brain just kind of leaks out my ears sometimes. But, that was a really cool thing, seeing all those little kids having a great time. Like I was saying, the road was like full of cars all the way around, like RVs. It looked like spring training. It was ridiculous. I loved it so much. I'm hoping that we expand because, we need more parking.
Well, there's going to be 4 more fields built, I know, in the next year, so. Not that we're where we already have
one field. Is this breaking news?
No, it's in the works.
I don't know about this.
So I mean, this is more like I said. It's a process, and what they're eventually going to try and have is I know that we talked about it, and I know it's not probably it might have got tabled, but they were talking about trying to have like a replica field, and what I mean by that is they would mimic Chase Field.
Dude.
So
do that.
The outfield fence would look like Chase Field.
Yeah. So. Oh, and then you could just build around it as you wanted to. Yeah. Like as long as you got that, it's like Wrigley Field. Is that the one where it's got the building next to it? Right, you can't really expand except for up. Anyway, true. Yeah. So very cool. A lot of great things in the works.
Little League season's on the way.
Little League, and then the rodeo. Rodeo's still going on.
Yeah, I saw a guy get thrown. I was watching a saddle bronc video. Don't know, it's probably gone viral by now, but this guy was on a saddle bronc horse yesterday and got thrown over the fence.
Yeah, nearly landed on some kids. I'm like, oh my.
Yeah.
And the weirdest part was nobody went to pick him up, and I'm like,
we just leave one guy walks over and he's like, oh, come on, we're just going to get you up. Get over the fence and keep going.
This guy got thrown. He's probably a 180-pound man. Gets thrown from 5 feet in the air, 6 feet in the air, over a fence and onto the ground, nearly onto some children. He's just kind of laying there, and everybody's looking at him. And I'm like, this isn't part of the show. I'm like, this is a video. Go pick that dude up.
Right?
Like, that dude is coughing out blood or part of his ribs or something.
Those guys are tough, though.
Oh,
they get right back up. They got to show that they can.
It was so much fun to watch. Yeah, dude.
So that's the college rodeo, and it's still going on.
The girls and the guys.
Yeah,
they're we're
Cochise
very proud of them. So, all right, I think we covered everything, and we're 29 minutes in. Isn't that beautiful?
Like, good 30-minute show.
30 minutes.
Thanks again, Logan, for coming by and chatting with us again. And
we love you.
Yeah,
man.
Anytime. I can't wait to hear you on the mic. Maybe one more time or 2 more times before you head up to Ottawa.
He's gonna do more. You're gonna come.
We're gonna give him a GoPro when he graduates. Maybe.
Yes.
Just walk across the stage.
We'll have him interviewing people.
Yeah. During graduation.
Yeah. Dude, we'll pay. We'll help you pay some bills.
Well, thanks again, and congratulations on the new hardware. Hopefully you can add to
Thank
that
you.
soon and
Thank you.
get some more college stuff going. And
Thank you to Ed Morse. Thank you to
yeah.
Southwest, American Southwest Credit Union. I have to remember those words in the right order, so I keep doing it the other way.
It's all
It's
good.
probably some other bank.
It is important to say the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. It's someone else.
Keep them sponsoring us.
Yeah.
So look forward to possibly looking to see if we can get some baseball players on the show next weekend, or some softball players as well. We'll see if they're not at a tournament.
We haven't interviewed any girls,
Yeah, well,
other than Kelty.
Yeah,
Kelty's like literally the only girl.
We want to get some girls on the mic for sure. So we'll reach out to the softball and baseball programs.
We'll be doing a lot of interviews in the near future.
Yeah, next week we'll be out and about talking to our local athletes, and then we'll have another different addition to the Jon and Jarad show next week.
It'll look different altogether.
It's going to be way different for you. So look forward to seeing that happen next week for us, Jon, and have a great rest of the week. Have a good week in school.
Yes, sir,
Keep your
you
grades
too.
focused, and we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you, Coach Young.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Logan.
John.
My name is John Berger, and we'll get out of here. Thank you very much.
Stay classy, Sierra Vista.